Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Even for someone like you that, is so plugged into this, these 4 days are just the longest, most awful 4 days, I think, practically in our country's history. It's almost extraordinary, the wreckage that
Yeah,
he's created already.
the wholesale pardons of January 6th defendants is an obscenity. It is so deeply disrespectful of the victims of those crimes. And I don't just mean the 140 police officers. Everybody in the Capitol that day who was trying to certify the election's results is a victim. The American people are the victim because these folks tried to end our democracy. And can I just talk about one defendant in particular? Because
Yeah.
this highlights some of the damage Donald Trump is doing to America. A guy named Daniel Ball. He is
Yeah.
a defendant who was
Yeah.
convicted. Here's what he was convicted of. He worked with rioters to violently push against police outside the Lower West Terrace entrance. And when their efforts failed, he threw an explosive device into the entrance and it detonated on 25 officers. He was pardoned on Tuesday. And guess what, Steph? He was arrested on Wednesday on federal firearms charges, not to mention he's got priors for domestic violence, battery by strangulation, and battering resisting law enforcement officers with violence. Donald Trump is not making America great again. He is making America dangerous again, and he's doing it intentionally and knowingly.
Yeah, by the way, he's always accusing other countries of emptying their violent criminal, jails out. Guess who's the only country doing that? Us.
Yeah.
Emptying violent criminals out into our streets.
Mexico's going to build a wall to keep us out.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Did you see yesterday? A reporter asked him, one of these defendants you just pardoned, stuck a officer in the neck with a stun gun. And Trump's like, oh, I didn't know that. We'll look into that. I don't know. I'm like, you saw the reporting. He just said, F it. Just release them all. Like, this is what this is going to be like. Just pure chaos. I mean,
it's a recruiting tool, Steph. This is a recruiting tool for Donald Trump. Next time he intends to engage in lawlessness, all of these people are already standing back and standing by and will be this ugly, violent militia ready to answer his criminal call again. It's no secret what he's doing.
Now, it was almost too much pleasure for me all at once. You on Nicole Wallace yesterday. Okay. Nicole, that's my jam. But I have to. So you wrote a piece. I don't think I've ever disagreed with you. And if I were straight and you weren't married, we would have such great makeup sex about this piece.
Oh my God! Stop it.
Okay. I understand as a person of the law, but your point and Adam Schiff's point about pardons. But you wrote a piece about it. You said you can be sure Trump will follow Biden's preemptive pardons precedent. Well, he was going to anyway. Would be my point. I understand your point. If we still lived in a world of law and order and not complete lawlessness, right? But I just thought I wanted to ask you because I don't know if you saw it yesterday. Trump pretty much implied that he might target Biden. I mean, to me proves Biden's point entirely.
Yeah.
So you said Biden's pardoning the innocent could spark a democracy-damaging cycle of pardons by Trump and presidents to come. I think he was going to do this anyway, and I know what you mean. Like, where do we go now? We're in a completely... But you just said Biden's pardon will provide only limited protection. The pardon can still be nefariously audited. They can be criminally investigated, even if they can't be prosecuted. They can be dragged before Congress. I get your point that that he is so vindictive. He will still try to make people's lives... I was surprised. You said he could order officials to summarily and unlawfully detain Liz Cheney, for example, and Trump couldn't be prosecuted for said unlawful decision. I mean, that's how lawless a territory we're in, right? You're talking about his immunity that the Supreme Court has given him.
The Supreme Court gave him the power of lawlessness and a blueprint regarding how to use it. Just unlawfully detain your political opponents, order your DOJ or your military officials to do so, and then pardon them for implementing your unlawful directives. And the majority of the Supreme Court justices said that's all fine. And you cannot touch or investigate or look behind a president's exercise of those two core constitutional powers, the power to direct his DOJ and his military and the power to issue pardons. That's why this is so dangerous. And yes, it feels good. I don't want any people wrongfully prosecuted, but as I say, it provides limited protection for these folks because he can send the federal government after them in 10 other ways short of criminally prosecuting them. And, you know, the other problem, Steph, is I hate to say this, but if one person was vindictively prosecuted, whether it's Liz Cheney or Jack Smith or Joe Biden, the federal bench in D.C., I believe, would stand strong. They're loyal to the rule of law and the Constitution, and they would not let those cases go through the court system.
Unless we get a Judge Cannon. I mean, that's the problem. I know you said, in my opinion, it would be far better to let Trump bring vindictive prosecutions only to have the federal court judges strongly reject them. I just think we've lost faith all the way up to the Supreme Court. I mean, look at you highlighted Judge Cannon does yet another favor for Trump, tells DOJ not to give Congress Smith's report on Trump's classified documents case, which I don't know what's more important to national security or what could be a higher, a reason to do this. But that's what I'm afraid of, is we're going to be playing whack-a-mole with it. I hope it's not a Trump judge.
I'm afraid of corrupt judges as well. But I think the one thing that we learned from the 60-plus cases that were brought attacking the results of the 2020 election is that every single judge, including all the Trump-appointed judges, told, Rudy and Sidney and the rest of them, go the you-know-what away because there is no evidence supporting this garbage. And Steph, just yesterday, a Ronald Reagan appointed
I was just going to say
40 years on the I don't mean to jump ahead of where you're going.
No, exactly.
But for God's sakes, a Reagan-appointed judge just told Donald Trump, his administration, and his DOJ lawyers, what you did trying to revoke birthright citizenship is, quote, blatantly unconstitutional. I believe the federal trial judiciary will hold strong. Of course, all bets are off once this stuff gets up to the Supreme Court.
That's exactly my point. Oh, hi. This message comes from our sponsor, Freedom From Religion Foundation. Freedom From Religion. Did you know that almost 1/3 of Americans have no religion? At least 34% of Gen Z are religiously unaffiliated. I'm in the largest religious group, not ex-Catholics. 2024, not just another election. You know that already. 2024 is a critical movement. Decisions made by elected officials will impact policies concerning health, privacy, and personal freedoms. Free Speech TV and the Freedom From Religion Foundation share a commitment to defending freedom of expression and the importance of critical thinking. That's why we're grateful for support from the Freedom From Religion Foundation, who works to empower people with the knowledge and tools to engage in civic life and protect their rights. Free Speech TV and the Freedom From Religion Foundation share a commitment to defending freedom of expression and the importance of critical thinking. We're grateful for the support from the Freedom From Religion Foundation that works to empower people with the knowledge and tools to engage in civic life. Protect your rights. Only you can do it. For more information on the work of the Freedom From Religion Foundation and their efforts to safeguard the separation of church and state, visit ffrf.org/Miller. That is ffrf.org/Miller. Your vote is your power. Don't sit this one out.